Ladies and gentlemen, what is up and welcome today to an updated video for Seatin's tier list, the best champions in Marvel Contest of Champions, my ranking spreadsheet for patch 16.0, and we've made quite a few changes to the tier list in terms of how it's formatted and laid out, but also I want to talk about kind of, where this tier list is heading, and a little project that I'm working on and trying to achieve and have a little bit of a play around with before the new year, which is kind of starting with for Ragnarok. So, if I'm very interested to get a little bit of feedback on this. But anyway, one of the first things that's changed is I've arranged everybody by class order and also color-coded it to make it quite easy to, pick out mutant champions or kind of, whichever class you're already searching for. So you can see every different class has a very kind of light tinge of whatever color it is. So hopefully it makes it quite visually easy to navigate and find champions of the class that you are looking for. The second thing is that I have added a new little icon in. So we've been adding little icons over the last couple of updates. So we added the star to indicate like a champion relies on being awakened. So that's really referring to characters like Star-Lord, Dr. Voodoo, Wolverine, those characters that gain absolutely phenomenal benefit, and you don't really want to play the character over other options without that awakened ability. So those are characters that I really feel they need to be awakened before you want to play them. But simultaneously, I think there are quite a few characters that I feel also need communicating that while they don't rely on being awakened, they gain an insane amount of benefit. I think Blade is a really great example for that. Like Blade, amazing like mystic killer just off the bat, but when you get him awakened, you get access to his infinite regeneration, which is just absolute craziness. So yeah, Blade is a champion that doesn't necessarily need to be awakened if you want to play him, but gains really huge benefit from it. So yeah, I'm thinking of a bit of a better way to communicate stuff like that. Then we also have the what is it, like the little muscle icon that we added in last update, which indicates that a champion relies on a high signature level. So we currently have this on like Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, Daredevil Classic, and for Ragnarok, just to indicate, that if you want to play this champion and it to be quite effective, it does kind of need a fair few signature stones in. And then we finally got a new one, which I've got like a couple holding hands of a heart emoji to symbolize that a champion relies on a unique synergy to be pretty good, or gains like an incredible benefit from that. And those two characters at the moment really are Medusa and also for Ragnarok. So with this update as well, we have moved quite a few characters around. I've had a lot of chats with various endgame players and had some really good videos sent my way that have really convinced me on Ghost Rider, Magic, and Medusa. And I think with this additional criteria, I was happy to move Medusa up the god tier, because she was verging, she's like the step ahead of most demigod tier champions. So I think, she did kind of, well justify herself making up there, because the damage output on an awakened Medusa is just absolutely insane. It's just so phenomenal. So yeah, Medusa has been moved up. We got color coded, but also the next thing that I'm trying to move toward with my tier list, and you'll see here with the 4 Ragnarok, essentially I want people to be able to open the tier list and click on any characters to say, the kind of theory behind the tier list is that somebody new playing the game, they get somebody like a Ghost Rider, and they're like, oh, Ghost Rider, like there are so many characters in this game, there's like 111 now, I don't know how good this character is. They open the tier list, and they're like, oh, Ghost Rider, he's a god tier champion, he's a pretty good character, but then I want people to be able to quickly have access to like a really accurate resource of information where they can learn how to efficiently play that character. So I think the Ghost Rider guide is something that I want to work on very soon, but I want to work on written guides for all of the god tier and demigod tier champions before the end of the year. But the essential kind of idea and theory behind it is you see a champion, then you click on it for example, for Ragnarok, and a guide like this comes up. It has, different categories. So you got an introduction, core abilities overview, when awakened, the strengths of the character, the weaknesses, the pro tips, where to play the character, and then kind of maybe a little bit of an archive of videos, maybe some done by myself, maybe some done by other top players, and kind of feature those so that we can, reliably get together some information on how to play play characters to really effective at maximum level. But yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a lot of learning when writing all those guides, but that is something that is kind of coming in the future and that we're aiming for. So yeah, to kind of to initially talk about some of the upgrades and stuff. So I have moved Ghost Rider, Magic, and Medusa to God tier. They are the free editions that weren't there previously, and I feel like just every time I see some like 5-star rank 4 gameplay from either one of these three characters, it's just absolutely phenomenal. I have to give a massive shout out to Quickshot Gaming for sending me quite a bit of Magic gameplay. He sent me some amazing gameplay on Map 6 of Alliance Quest versus the Starburst Degeneration node, which had a Luke Cage on, and it's like this rank 4 Magic that's awakened, and Limbo is up pretty much 100% of the time. So this Magic, you know, any damage that she's taking from Starburst, she's just instantly regenerating back, so it's absolutely crazy. So yeah, I do have, you know, Magic as a character that has really grown on me, and I think especially in the endgame community, once people get really good at intercepting and can start doing those stand-up intercepts as well, this character just goes to like crazy levels of what you can play her at. So Magic, she's sitting atop that God tier now, as well as Ghost Rider. So Ghost Rider, I don't have him as a champion that needs to be awakened, and I don't have him a champion that relies on unique synergy, but he gains a huge amount of benefit from the both of those, because, you know, the awakened is an additional judgment, and the unique synergy with Blade causes his judgments not to fail, which is a huge upgrade to the character. But Ghost Rider, you know, on his own, you just have access to a ridiculous amount of utility, infinite regeneration potential, and Ghost Rider, especially on my free-to-play account, has been a character that's just absolutely carried me through Act 4. He's just been absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I feel like there is so much merit to Ghost Rider, so I wanted to give him a little bit of additional love, and I think, you know, he's definitely a cut above a lot of the demigod tier mystics. So yeah, a lot of love for Ghost Rider there, and finally we just have Medusa. So amazing poison immune champion in the right circumstances, comes so close, and even with some, you know, fairly good RNG, can rival Hyperion. I think Hyperion is a lot more random than Medusa is, especially when it comes to his heavy attacks, because you can have fights where you're getting so many Furies off Hyperion and the damage is insane, whereas I think Medusa is a bit more of a consistently, like, just really amazing champion. I think there's fights where Hyperion can dip down a bit, but overall I think he has a little bit more potential than Medusa, and also the fact that he doesn't necessarily need to be awakened, and you don't have to have Karnak and Black Bolt for him to be absolutely bonkers. Like Hyperion, he's still a God tier champion, man. He's absolutely amazing, so I cannot rate that boy enough. So yeah, just recapping the God tier, the mutants, we got Wolverine, Archangel, and Iceman. There's always so many questions about which one of these should I rank 5 first, and the answer to that, I need to do an upgraded video on kind of which characters to rank 5, but there is no definitive answer. You know, they all have their strength, their pros and cons. Then we have the Mystics. We got Dr. Voodoo, Scarlet Witch, when awakened at a high sig level. Ghost Rider, Magic. We got Gwenpool, Blade, Medusa, Hyperion, and Star-Lord and Spider-Man, Stark. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with where the God tier is at the moment. I think that gives a really good kind of glance at who some of the most powerful champions are in the game. And I think, you know, between the majority of these champions, there isn't really anything in the game that they struggle to do too much. And then we have the demigod tier. So if, you know, any of these guys can't do it, or, you know, you want a slightly less effective option, we have in the mutants, Wolverine X-23, we got Rogue, Storm, Psylocke, Cable, Mystic, Guillotine, Dormammu, Herd, Morningstar, Mephisto, Morningstar, I should maybe put a little caveat to say when at 5 souls, but, you know, I want to do a written guide for all of the demigod tier champions, so that maybe is something that I will include in the written guide. Then we also have the skill champions, Crossbones, Black Widow, Elektra, Daredevil Classic, Thor Ragnarok, Hawkeye, Cosmics, Angela, 4 Drax, Tech, Vision, both. I don't know, there's maybe a chance that OG Vision, because OG Vision, he's a character that's grown on me. I've seen some crazy videos that in a future iteration, I might move him up to God tier. I think he's a very, very high demigod tier champion, the OG version of Vision, so he's one of those champions that I'm having a little bit more of a think about. But yes, I do really, really value OG Vision. I think he's absolutely fantastic, and if OG Vision was a 5-star character that you could take to rank 4, oh, he would be very, very spicy. Then also Ultron and Doc Ock from the tech class, and then from science, we've got Hulk, we got Yellow Jacket, Captain America World War II, and Quake. So I think I moved Quake down in my last update, but I've actually moved her back up to demigod, just because I have seen some, like, last month, I've seen some new level of Quake gameplay. I've just seen some amazing, amazing kills, especially when it came to the boss rush challenge, and with the introduction of Mephisto, I think it's really, really increased the value of Quake. But Quake is one of those champions, you know, she's very quirky, she has a very different play style, but can be a very, very effective option for dealing with some of the challenges presented by characters like Mephisto. So yeah, I'm rating Quake a little bit more nowadays. She's made it up to my demigod tier, and then the amazing and good tier and mech tier champions, I'll let you kind of peruse those at your own leisure. But just as a reminder, this is an offense tier list, so this is a champion that you actually play. So, you know, while some of the champions in the lower tiers, they might be amazing defenders in Alliance War, when it comes to playing something like a Black Panther Civil War, for example, he is a terrible champion to play, almost got nothing going for him. But when it comes to Alliance War defense, he's fantastic because of the reflect stun. Whenever he has a stack of armor, put him on an armor node that is 100% reflect stun, no parries. It's a great, great option for defense there. But in terms of the Alliance War Defense tab, I'm not currently updating the Alliance War Defense tab, just because Alliance War is still undergoing changes. Like, they've been doing changes every kind of week or two, fiddling about with the nodes and stuff like that. So I didn't want to, you know, spend a lot of time on this at the moment. And also, when it comes to the higher tier Alliance Wars, the best Alliance War strategy is to use 50 unique defenders of the highest possible power index per battle group. So yeah, that is the strategy for Alliance War Defense. It, you know, isn't a huge game of like which champion is good at the moment. If you are competing in those high tier Alliance Wars and you're against an alliance that, you know, knows how to play the game to at least a reasonable level. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the Marvel Contest of Champions patch 16.0 tier list update. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Once again, thank you very much for watching and supporting the channel. If you did enjoy this, yeah, feel free to smash that. I feel like I've already said that, but take care and have an absolutely fantastic day.